Alright guys, it's been a little bit since I've shot a video. I've been trying to play with some different cameras, so we're using kind of a home video camera, so there's probably going to be foul or what markings on the screen, so just deal with it until I can get like some GoPros or something. Since I'm just now starting, I don't have the cash to really spend a whole boatload of money on camera equipment just yet, but I will be getting better equipment. But anyway, welcome to the blacksmith shop. I don't know if I've shot any footage in here or not. I may have done one video, but we're in May right now, and I am teaching a class here at the end of the month, and we're going to be doing I got 5 spots, 4 of them are filled. I got 1 spot left, so I'm hoping that fills up before the end of the month hits. But they're going to be doing some cookware, campfire cookware stuff, and just to kind of introduce some people that have been interested in trying their hand at blacksmithing, and a way for me to, make a little cash on the side because of how busy I am. I haven't really been able to do the inventory part and sell, so I'm trying this out, which you're gonna have to get in on the insurance and waivers, definitely waivers, and make sure everybody understands that it's not a matter of if you get hurt, but when. But anyway, so today we're going to be doing. I got to do example pieces of everything they're going to make. So right now we're going to be doing a campfire poker, and it's 1/2-inch square stock, so they can do some decorative twist on it. And my shop is a mess right now, but I believe this is about a 4-foot stick of square. So they're going to get to try their hand at forge welding and doing a decorative little handle and doing some twist in the middle with this. So I'm trying to keep an eye on my time on how long it's going to take me to complete everything that they're supposed to do, because they got 1 day to do it. And this is, so I got to keep track of my time, and then keep in mind that I'm experienced, these people are not. It's going to take them a lot longer, even with me hovering over their shoulder. So, well, let's get busy. I already got the forge lit. Yeah, I don't use the electric blowers. I don't like the extra noise that they make. They're loud. They burn through my fuel too fast. And I picked up a few extra farm implement pieces that we will be getting to doing some restoration videos on, and actually hopefully using. I picked up a disc plow over the weekend. Unfortunately, it's a 2-horse, not quite as small as what I was hoping for my donkeys to pull. But we're going to use it anyway with maybe that farm model tractor that I still got to get here, or my Massey. I do have a PTO drive tiller for my tractor, so I'm kind of getting to where I want to have a backup in case it goes down, because we do the sorghum molasses, and I have to have some type of something to break ground with to do that. The area is just too big for me to do raised bed or lasagna gardening or anything like that on the aspect of that. Yeah, I like how quiet my shop is whenever I'm in here working, and just using an old-timey hand crank. I'm using an actual mic that is attached to the camera. So we're trying it out, see how it works out, instead of the mics that only last about 30 minutes or so on my shirt that I got to try to keep track of. That as this goes, I'll get better equipment and the video quality will get better. I've been watching GoPros on Marketplace. They're still kind of, newer ones are kind of pricey. I might have to just get an older one and bite the bullet. Anyway, it's just mild steel. Don't know what kind of mild steel. It's just mild steel. My metal supply place, they just order the stuff. They don't get real technical with it. Anyway, so here we go. Downside to this class is that every single one of my anvils is going to have to go, and my back hurts every time I pick that one up. I'm going to have to rewrap my chain around it too, or get my magnet on it. It's ringing pretty good. Be all right. Copper sheeting I use for little coffee scoops. Alright, here we go. I actually haven't forged anything in months, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, I still got some work I got to do on this. We're working on that, my daughter's 4-H chicken coop first, and then we'll be moving to my wife's home gym so I can get her some more equipment for her bodybuilding venture. Hoping she'll start shooting some video of that. She doesn't like shooting it because she's working out on a dirt floor gym under a lean-to, pretty much is what it is right now, but at least she's got a place. Alright, here we go again. I'm just putting a point on it. Hold it to the far side of the anvil. I like to cock it up a little bit. It helps me really get in on the point. So you can see it's just a little square taper that we drew. It's called drawing out, and I'm probably gonna have to draw out some more of this for the handle, because it's either that or we do the point, but because we got to clip halfway through and do a forge weld. But I think we're going to draw this out and see how long it takes us to do the whole handle piece. I'd like to use a little bit smaller stock. We had this 1/2-inch square in surplus. Did have to buy a little bit, but we didn't have to buy much. And I'm kind of at the mercy of my metal supplier. Oh, and by the way, this whole building here, everything that you're seeing on the camera and not seeing on the camera has pretty much been salvaged. I don't have a whole lot in it, and you can kind of tell, but we're gonna future videos will be me finishing up this building and making it look really nice on the outside, and hopefully more organized on the inside. I just haven't really had time to finish this shop, and I need to get it done. We got 100 things going on. It's really hard to sit there and just focus on one thing, because it's going to take me a while to get this done. A little hotter. As y'all can see, it's a coal forge. We built it out of brick. Big concrete slab. It's worked pretty good for me for the, I think we've been here about 4 years now. I'll try to get that up bright yellow. Not quite forge temp, but pretty close to it, and that way it's nice and soft, and I should be able to move it faster on this draw out. And I still got water in my slack tank, so we're good. I'd like to have a bigger blacksmith shop, but it ain't in the cards. I got a whole yard that I can play around with too. If I get to doing the bigger projects like ornamental ironwork, I'd love to do ornamental ironwork. In fact, I got some I'm really wanting to do. Alright, we're going to draw it out over the horn. We're going to use peen side. Alright, then we're going to flip it over. You're back up. Using that peen over the horn, that'll cut your drawing time down a bit. I'm going to have probably going to have, I got another one of these, my dad's old home video camera that's set up kind of the same. It just doesn't have a mount for a mic on it. So I'll probably have to bring it with me because I'm not too for sure about how long I'm going to be able to shoot video with all of the adjustments I've made. Always trying to shoot a higher quality than I should on it, and try to shoot a lower one and buy myself some time. But I do have a spare battery, so I'll check on it from time to time and just try to make sure we're still going. I used to do this all the time, and I've kind of gotten busy and gotten lazy on doing this stuff I enjoy doing. I've just got so much stuff going on around here that it's hard for me to do the things I enjoy because I got to build the buildings first. Really hot again. Shoot some oil in my blower. Alright, full face stick. thing y'all got to keep in mind is that a curve, if you stretch it out in a straight line, it is really long. So in other words, I go making this. I want the curl. I want this to be able to curl around into a nice grippy handle, and I think I'm going to keep that on there and make a little leaf. I'm not going to require them guys to do it, but I'm just going to try to show something really nice that you can do. But anyway, we're going to try to curl around and do a little, I like to do kind of a little finger guard on them. And we'll have a little decorative leaf. It's going to take a little longer than just beating the point out on it and doing a little curve, but I think they'll appreciate it more. I just got to figure out this is probably going to be the last thing that they're going to make. It's going to be the hardest to do the forge welded, so I want them to have some of the other stuff kind of down, because I got quite a few pieces to make, but some of it's going to be should be pretty quick. I'll have some jigs set up. This is my first time teaching a class that I'm getting paid to teach. I've been teaching it, basic blacksmithing for probably 10 years through a club that I run out of Mena, Arkansas. And so I'm trying to see if my skills have any value, I guess you could say. I'll tell them, maybe I'll inspire somebody to do something really amazing with this. A little bit of oil left. A little chunky. Put too much of that in there. It might have some water in it. Quieten her down a little bit though. Anytime you hear that thing just rattling, it means it needs oil. Before any of y'all go harping on me about safety glasses, there will be safety glasses. I haven't been in here in a while, and I'm not sure where my safety glasses are at. I gotta go buy some. Yeah, I got to make a feather towel hook too at some point here pretty soon. I got the material for that. Customer order. I actually probably just need to eat up that whole bar and make several of them. And I have to make a little one too. Don't put grease in your blowers. It's not what they were meant to be used in them. You need like a 20 weight motor oil. Now the forge they're going to be using is a pretty good size one. It's got an electric blower on it. It's just, we'll do it for that class, because I'm going to have to sit here and keep these guys running. But the only thing I'm not going to like, it's going to eat my fuel up. All right. I think I'm going to keep drawing this out a little bit. I don't think I'm going to go down any further. And one of the nice things is they don't have to make exactly what I'm making. They can do it to the best of their ability, or they can go real simple. I guess y'all get to see how to make a leaf too. Seeing where we're at. Now usually if you're doing a leaf, you got an upset block, or you're using the face of the anvil. I got an upset block. And you want to upset this material that's making this whole length shorter, but the mass has to go somewhere, so it gets fatter, so to speak. And that gives you the mass to do a good leaf. But since I'm drawing this down for a handle, I wasn't too worried about that. We should still get a pretty decent leaf out of this on the end. We just have to make sure that we're going to be long enough when I bend it, it's going to make a nice handle. I want it not bulky, but also it needs to be kind of comfortable to hold. I may even make it kind of round so there's no sharp corners on it. Basically, you stand your corners up, hit them down, and it becomes a hexagon, and you hit them again. Keep working the corners in. You know, a lot of people like having a little bit of roughness in it, showing that it's been hand forged. Back in the day, though, that wouldn't have passed. Everything is about quality, not quantity. Now everything's about quantity and not quality. Okay. Now the good news is that if I bend this around and I don't like how long it is, I can always straighten it back out and draw some more out. That's the nice thing about this. As long as, even if I cut it off, I can weld it back on. So, all right. So now this next part is I'm going to heat up the leaf area and we're going to make the leaf. I'm going to check. Is the light still flashing? Everything's still working. So we're going to hope that we're still recording. So I got everything shut off on it where I can't even see how much battery power I have. So, alright, making a leaf. Made a bunch of leaves. You know, and usually when I'm teaching blacksmithing through the club, I teach all the tool making stuff, like making your own punches and chisels, all real simple stuff on their the first day, because at least then they get to leave with some tools, and when they come back they can use them tools to make their tongs and all that fun stuff. So, and just so I know, this will not be a full-on blacksmithing channel. As promised, it'll be a lot of stuff. We did determine on the red Chevy out there with the 350 in it, not the diesel one, I am going to have to replace the whole distributor. Problem is I've got a four-wheeler I've been working on that needs all 4 new tires on it so we can use it. So that's probably gonna take priority over the truck, and then we'll get back to the truck. The diesel I am going to wire in an electric fuel pump, but I was looking at underneath the dash at the ignition wire, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be heavy duty enough to maybe handle the pump. So I think I'm going to just put a switch on it, kind of like a kill switch. But alright, see the diamond's up. I like to hit that. We got the starter of a leaf. There's still quite a bit of mass in it, so we'll work on widening it. Usually I use a little bit smaller hammer, so why don't we get one? Might be a lot of my stuff's still on my blacksmith trailer. I need to get more tools gathered up that can stay in my shop and tools that can stay on my trailer. I do have a big kilt order coming, so I do deal in the quilting stuff. Alright. I'll try to get out a little bit. I don't exactly want that there. Hang it over. And just keep in mind, it's a leaf. It's not going to be completely symmetrical. If you're talking about nature, now if you're talking about, manufacturing, you want everything to be, isometrical or whatever. And yeah, everything, you got to make sure that you're really paying attention to getting both sides pretty close exactly the same. We're not worried about that with a fire poker. Getting to the decorative ironwork stuff, it'll be a little bit more important. Alright. Toothy right there. I'm going to heat it up one more time, see if I can draw a spot out I'm looking at. It looks a little toothy. These are hot. This on this side. So I'll try to show y'all. So there's my leaf. I'm going to leave it just like that. The draw out's probably not going to be long enough, but we're going to try this anyway. Like I said, I started with about a 4-foot section, a 1/2 inch square. I like the 3, I believe it's 3/8. It makes a little bit lighter poker. But all they had when 3/8 was round, and it gets really hard to do some decorative stuff with it. So, like I said, we opted for the 1/2 just because of that. Alright, get this hot, and then we're going to bend it around the horn, make ourselves a nice little handle to hold on to. Okay, so you want to make sure your top side is on top. I'm going to come over here to the horn. I'm just going to come around with it. I like to leave a nice little loop in the thing. So this one, I usually make them longer than this, but let's see what we got. This isn't my campfire poker, so. Alright, that's cool. Now this is mild still, so I'm going to quench it in my water, because we got to get to work on this other side. Looks like I need to refill my tank. Oh, yeah, that's going to work out nice. It's kind of heavy, so somebody might have to. It's warm there. You got to keep in mind too. If you're working in the end, the heat's traveling up the bar. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of it. It's not so hot that it'll burn me, but even though this is black, you know, it can still be hot enough to cause a 2nd degree burn, and they hurt. All right. So now we're going to draw out the other side for the point and the little spur. The downside is my twisting wrench is up in the trailer, so I will not be able to do any decorative twisting on this. I don't think, but maybe. Oh, it was just a wee bit bigger. Tool I got from that place. I don't. Oh. Ha! Hey guys, guess what? I got me a 1/2 inch twisting wrench. So, that being said case, because it's only got, I'm only going to be able to do it on the straights. Over here to my, my shop's a mess, so. It's like a jungle in here. I got an end mill sitting next to the camera that I gotta figure out where it's going. Now I got rid of a wood stove. I'm thinking about moving it over in the corner. I use that for my guards on my knives. Saves so much time. Little 19, I think it's a 1924 end mill, then I got a 1922 or 23 little machinist wood lathe over here in the other room. Alright, we're going to put a twist in it. I'm not going to get overly fancy. I will let them guys do it. I'll tell you what, we might get a little fancy to do a reverse. But you know, you got your pineapple twist, there's a Rubik's twist, there's a dragon scale twist I haven't tried, and there's like a wheat twist. That one's pretty time consuming. Braided twist, done that one. If the guys finish everything that I got on the list for them to make, I'm throwing in a flint and steel striker project. That way, if they get done early, they can make that. I don't think they will, but you never know. Some people just have the gift of swinging a hammer. So. I'll keep that tool. I'll use that as a twist wrench. That'll work great. Usually I use a smooth jaw monkey wrench, and you weld another handle on it, and so you got two handles to hold on to. And I got some, you know, twisting wrenches up there that are just a piece of rebar bent in certain ways. I do have a gas forge I built, but I only use that to help temper my knives, and even the last few knives I've made, I've just used the coal forge. I hadn't fired that thing up in a while. I'm going to try this little twist wrench out that I didn't know I had, that I now know I have. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about moving the camera around. I will be setting this up as a studio a little bit better in the future. For right now, y'all just got to stand there and stare at a forge. And, alright, so let's just see what this works. Slide right down. Clockwise with it. Oh, that worked out great. Right back up. So if I will keep in mind that usually I do my twist last, but the way that little tool is, I'll have to do my twist first. Alright. So y'all can see here, we got a nice little twist going on. Usually I like to brush them off, but like I said, a lot of my stuff is still in the trailer. So also when you do a twist, you're inevitably going to bend that thing. This is what you use a wooden mallet for. I'm just going to try hitting on either side of it. Alright. One pretty little twist. So I probably should have put it a little higher. It ain't going to matter too much. It's not going to affect anything. Now this type of twist is, put it up here, you can use it as part of the grip too. Alright, so that was clockwise, so this next one we're going to go counterclockwise with. Let's check and see that we are still recording. It says we are. Cool. This part might actually work out. Next part is I had to get a new laptop, so I got to download my multimedia stuff for it and figure out how to transfer from this video camera over to my computer. So we'll see if we can figure all that out in the next couple of days. I'm learning, guys. Bear with me. Alright, so we went clockwise. This one will be counterclockwise. Give me just a minute and we'll get back on screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That, and we've got to be very careful getting it out of the vise. I'm using a post leg vise, not a machinist vise. You got a lot more room to play with. Alright. Remember what I said about it being a mess and I need to clean it up in here? Usually I put them real close together. It still looks pretty. See how that works? One's bent, one is twisted clockwise, one is twisted counterclockwise, and it makes that pretty little effect on it. Alright. I need to get me some more water in here. Pour it down because we're about to do the last part of this puppy. Then I'm going in to eat, guys. I'm getting hungry and I got work to do for get ready for work tomorrow and bodybuilding and busy guy. Taking y'all along for the ride. Alright, so now what I gotta do is like I did on this side, I gotta draw my point out, but this time I'm gonna draw it out a little longer. I'm trying to get it pretty hot so that way I got more time at the anvil. This part here will be the spur. Let's just go right back over here. Try not to grab up in there, I know that's still hot. And, you know, y'all comment on the page on stuff y'all might like to see or ask about. I got, you know, like I said, I've got a lot of restoration stuff coming up in the buildings. I'll do some shooting on the 4-H chicken coop project. So far, all the money I've spent on that is a box of deck screws. We reused screws from the chicken coop we tore down, and boards from the off of a roof of a house we tore off before they bulldozed it. I will have to buy some treated board. It's still cheaper than or would have been had all saved up. Remember, we're going to kick it up a little bit and get a little closer to that edge. Alright, so we've drawn it out. I'm going to come up in here. I got my little hot cutter. So we've made this from a piece of sucker rod. And we're going to heat it back up, and up here we're going to cut about halfway through. Okay, and I'm going to get paranoid about this camera, so we're going to check it again. Mic's on, and it says we're still going. Well, that's cool, so I'm going to lower this down and maybe y'all can see what I'm doing a little better. Alright, well, here we go. Now this I'm just kind of eyeballing, you know, the further back I cut this, the longer the spur is going to be. Nice and hot and soft so I don't wear out my cutter. I made that from the bolt end on the threaded end of a piece of sucker rod. One blacksmith guy showed me that trick once, and I've pretty much stuck with it. Alright, we refined our groove. wanting to go about halfway or so. That's good. So now we're going to bring your arm around. So you see what I got going on. So now I'm going to leave that in there so it stays hot. Time for the secret sauce. All that's in this, you get it on the laundry aisle at Walmart. There's two things you're going to want, and that is Miltine Borax, which is what this is, and then Arm & Hammer Super Soda. The Arm & Hammer Super Soda is for if y'all get into doing electrolysis stuff. So we're just going to, right inside there, we want to make sure that we got it nice and coated. You can put iron filings in this and it supposedly makes it better. I don't want to go too much, it's still got a spot in there. Anyway, so what this does, it helps eat the scale. So as this heats up, it develops a scale on it, and that keeps it from developing scale, because if it's got scale on it, I won't ever get it to stick. Alright, so that's done. So I'm going to close her down a little bit more. Alright, here's the other thing. You don't use a big hammer to set this weld. And this might be a little on the light side, but the forge welding hammer, guess what? It's in the trailer. So we're just gonna run with that one and hope for the best. So we're gonna get it down in there. Now this time I'm going all the way up full forge weld heat. So when I start seeing some sparking, I know I'm there. So this will take me a minute to get it there. And if you can do it if you can make a little pocket, I believe it's called a frog house. Semi got one going on. It's even better if you had some water in there to make stuff kind of coke up and stick a little better. We'll make this work. Get more oil in this thing, I think I am out. Pick some up. Oh, you well oil back in the day. The other thing is you want a bunch of coke in there. You don't want a bunch of green coal. You also want that to be deep enough that the fire eats up the oxygen before it gets to your piece you're working on. It helps reduce the chance of building up a bunch of scale. Got a little help. That's why I recommend if you're going to build your own fire pot, minimum 5 inches deep. I use brake rotors, so I go with the deep one. If you're not going to be forge welding, don't worry, it can be a shallow one. It's starting to get hot now. That fire pot Probably see this getting brighter and brighter as my heat's going up. And you gotta make sure you twist your material around so you get a good even heat. And watch your fire, you'll start seeing sparklers come off of it like the 4th of July. Got some water in that. It's not really just waylaying on the blower either. It'll get up, yeah. Almost there. Like we is there. Almost. Saying yes. You just do some taps. Nothing crazy. Okay. So immediately, like I said, I need to brush it off. Some scale out, and immediately we're going to go back to our flux. Problem with this flux is that, you know, it likes to run around and run off, but okay, fellas, battery died, so I'll have to look and see how much time we got out of it, but it didn't miss anything. It went off just as I was putting it back into the forge. So we've set the weld. So I'm going to switch my hammer out a little bit bigger. So this is my second forge weld heat. I always do 3. Right now they're just kind of stuck together. They're not really melded together. Would be good if I put more coal in this, but after this is done, I'm done for the night, so I'm not going to feed it anymore. When we're done, remember we're looking for the sparkles. Looks like a sparkler from the 4th of July. We are ready to go. Now mild steel, you don't want to quite get that hot. Forge weld temp range on it is a lot lower than the mild steel, and it's a lot less forgiving. I'm starting to see some sparklage. I'm going to let it sit there a little bit longer to make sure the core is actually at forge weld heat, not just the surface. A little longer. And remember, it's all in the love taps. We're looking good, looking good. I got a little 2-pound hammer. I really like doing these forge welds with, but that seam is disappearing. I don't know if y'all can see that there's not a seam on the end. Alright, this is third and final. This is the one where I will really get mean with it. And hopefully in this one heat, we will draw everything out. The point out, and I'll be able to get the little spur pulled out. We'll see. Here we go. You still don't want to go too crazy with it. I think you can still blow your weld out. Up the temp. Try not to look directly in your fire plug. You can look at your part, don't look at the fire plug, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I'm watching for the sparkling, starting to see it. But I like to make sure that weld heat is through the whole piece of material and not just over a little bit of it. I like to leave it in there just a little bit, not so long that it just absolutely starts burning, but just give it some soak time, pull it out, check it, not quite yet. This is just going to be part of, trial and error and doing it enough times that you kind of just figure it out. There it is, knock some of that stuff off. Alright, guys, let's go with the tooth right here. Using my pins, I can get it in there. And we'll switch over. Ain't that just gorgeous? Little fire. If you ever did saw, not bought from China. Look at that beauty. Forge weld set. So we did all that correctly. Like it. Like it a lot. It always feels good when you can make something from nothing. Especially if you buy somebody else's trash. But there it is. Yeah, it'd been nice probably to have another twist here. But this is just my example piece. I will probably be selling it whenever this class is done. But there you go, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I think this is my second blacksmith video I've done. And y'all just please be patient as I do this and maybe make some helpful suggestions. But I'm going to pull my fire apart. That's the other thing. If you're burning with coal or gas, Make sure you shut everything down. Don't have anything around your fire that can catch fire, okay? Seen too many shops burn to the ground, but all right. It's a little heavy-duty fire poker. Some of you people that don't have as strong arms, you might have to use 2 hands, but still manageable like that. All right, guys. Till next time. Thanks for watching. Like I said, we will be get out of y'all's face. We will be doing. I'll be shooting video on the rest of the 4-H chicken coop build for my daughter's 4-H chickens. There's like 33 of them in the house right now, so it's amazing. Luckily they're chicks, but that's a hurry and get done. The two Chevy trucks y'all seen, the 4-wheeler's pretty much done. I'm not going to shoot that. That was just getting a new carburetor, new fuel lines, rebuilding the petcock on it. I do have a manure spreader that's ground drive we're going to tear into, and then we'll be doing I guess a horse-drawn disc plow. So I'm all into this old draft animal stuff. I think it still has a purpose and should, especially if you're getting into farming and you're trying not to go in a lot of debt. You might as well just pick up some of this old stuff and modify it, because a lot of people just use it for yard art, and it's just a sad thing that somebody either had to go down to the bank and get money for this stuff, or they really had to spend a year or two saving up their money just so that they could get this stuff, and now it's just somebody's yard art until it rots away, and that's just a shame. Of course, granted, them old timers would love to have had a PTO tiller too if they had the opportunity. But alright, well, I'm going to shut everything down, and we will be seeing y'all again, because we still got to do the cooking grate and then the fire irons, and those will be the other 2 example pieces, and if they get those done, then I'll introduce them to a flint and steel striker. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope y'all just keep watching this and just bear with me. I'm just starting out on this, so I got a lot of hurdles to jump through, but I appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot, and God bless.